Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new video in the Tune It Up series. Thank you so much in the meantime for the support and for the comments on the previous videos. Today, after a short break dictated by the fact that the main component of this episode was missing, that is the exhaust that indeed we are going to install on Giacomo's Pane Colosso. We're back, we're with the motorcycles, and we're with good Roberto.
Come on, it's been a while since the last video, but we make them arrive just in the nick of time. But this video will be the real action one. How can we say it?
Also because we had promised indeed that the bike would have gone to the bench, and here we are, promise kept. She is already harnessed, tied on the bench of Emoto. First, launch an original configuration to see what is the power that the Panigale currently has. Without performance work,
Exactly. Then we will mount the exhaust, we will make a further launch to understand only with the components what it will acquire, and in the end, then they will put the last comparison.
and let's see how much this little beast from Borgo Panigale will unload on the bench. The accessories that we are going to mount today are many, millions and millions. But the main thing is that some pieces that I brought you are really of a devastating level.
Let's say that the definitive part is really something exaggerated. Let's not say too much. Come on.
Step 1 headphones, and we start to warm up the engine. So Roby, here we made the first 3 launches to see, in short, the average.
Usually we do 3 because anyway, 1 is for cleaning up the engine temperature. So in the end, to make the test reliable, we do 3.
And to also understand in short what could be the average horsepower output. In short, to see that the graphs are more or less all uniform. So what does this engine tell us?
Well, let's not forget one thing. This is a Superquadro engine, V2 Superquadro. When it's a Superquadro engine, it has a very particular output. In the sense that we have a first part a bit muscle, so to speak.
A bit dull.
Exactly, then everything explodes at once. So it's something that goes, let's say, a bit contradictory? No. Because the twin cylinder is one that might pull under, but here we have everything on top, essentially.
Not surprisingly, many guys who have tried the Panigale Phi 2, even in the comments below, at the beginning of the series told me, don't you feel it a bit dead below? Yes, it's clear. Now we'll see the chart together.
That's the reason why.
It's really a characteristic of the V2 engine.
Exactly.
Then, of course, one can play around a bit with the final ratios, with the transmission that is, but that's the engine, there's no escaping it.
Let's say it's a bike always designed a bit for racing use, essentially, which prefers the mid-high part. And in fact, the graph shows it. We have 3 curves, which are essentially 3 photocopies. And as we see, we have a good first part, then this flexion is created, then it explodes. Here, from 8,000 onwards. We understand it better from the torque, because you see, we start at 4,000, then it dips. But this is the character of the engine. So now that we are going to unload in the map, it's not like we can perform miracles. We improve the situation, but the trend is this. So this would be a bike to use from about 5,005, 6,000 RPM onwards, not below. Let's talk a little bit, some numbers, Nicolo, because the bike pulled out roughly a performance of about 133.5, 135 horsepower with the last launch. And as for maximum torque, we are at peak, obviously.
10 kilos, 10 and 30 more or less.
We couldn't check the carburation because the bike is all original. I don't have the ability to input my acquisition because if it were to remove even an original probe, the bike wouldn't run anymore for recovery. Maybe we'll delve deeper into the carburation discussion when we go to install the complete exhaust. There, we have a complete reading of both the front and rear cylinder because today, in this case, we're going to make a specific map. Vertical cylinder and horizontal cylinder, I prefer this and recommend it. Because the rear cylinder is covered, it overheats a bit more and needs to run with a carburation.
Slightly different.
Slightly different from the front one.
Roberto, don't you think I'm a bit too empty-handed?
Yeah. In fact, that's what he's asking me because I usually always have someone in charge of unwrapping.
Exactly. This morning. Today is Monday. Were you expecting to do a nice unboxing?
And I have a feeling that there's something...
And the courier still has the package. It hasn't arrived yet, but we will wait, hopefully, for the courier. Anyway, we actually have to assemble something else before we get to the exhaust.
Although it's true that, jokes aside, the technical time to install the exhaust is really high. Because to reach the manifold, for example, of the vertical cylinder, all this part at the back, even though the bike is already nice, which is disassembled, all the little frame, we have to do half of it. So Nicolo is not playing today. Today I have to get under and hustle. If this exhaust arrives tonight at 6.
If they go home, they put the light here.
There was a child back in the womb. When I step back, I need no room.
Rega, I can't believe it. Fresh from Corriere, here's Spark at the office. Let's go give the good news to Roberto. Big Robert, look what I brought you. It's arrived. We've seen the tracking.
Look, it was updating to be delivered by 7. I mean, it was really messed up, yes, but I'll definitely do it. So watch out.
Ah, yes, of course.
Let's take off our gloves.
My goodness. Look, excuse me. Hey, Roberto Scissorhands, how is it possible?
This exhaust is what they use in the World Super Sport.
We're already giving him this preview. Not even time to unpack it.
So watch out.
Look how excited you are. Look, you're really a pig, huh?
This is the main attraction. We've made videos, we've edited everything, but when this stuff is there, everyone stops. My goodness, my goodness.
Gentleman of Spark,
My goodness.
thank you very much.
Do you know what this titanium will become?
All purple because it's titanium.
But look at those welds. These spark welds, really. Look, they drive me crazy. Look at this stuff. Exaggerated green pliers. Listen to how it sounds.
What a show. Let's see a bit. The piece, the strong piece, the strong piece. This is a strong piece. For example, here, connector. This is a strong piece. Strong, and clear spark. Here it is.
Laser engraving. Nice stuff. Shall we show these?
Yes, come on, let's show them. We're here.
All right, I get it, but you want to clear the roof of the workshop today. Giacomo, damn you, what a tool we've created here. Look, never mind.
My goodness, what a show, guys. Obviously, spark silencer connected to the entire system in titanium. He's also in titanium. Look at that mouth. And the nice thing is that there are 2 of them.
How are you trying to impress the kid? And really, you was soft. All you know is Kappa, homie. You don't know.
And while Roberto continues the disassembly, making noise in the background, I'm also going to tell you that among other things you didn't see on camera because it wasn't filmed, Roberto went and installed the new transmission. So Corona, chain and ERV 7 sprocket, so a top of the range Compass 520, obviously it comes directly from WRS. Now, while you were having fun on the bike, I set up here. All the Spark Robbie jewelry took 40 minutes to disassemble, 35 to assemble.
Yes, why not? Anyway, getting back to the conversation we were having earlier between you and me, but how beautiful is the disassembled Ducati?
A work of art. I mean, what impresses me is the fact that if you look at it from this angle, it has a line that goes from the rear wheel to the steering plate. All unique. It's really cool to see. And why did I expect this? That relaunches, obviously, with a Bosch control unit, but it's from Roberto that we are going to use in a very, very professional, scientific way. To weigh the original exhaust, that is, everything when it accumulates from the district, including the valve.
Guys, it weighs a ton. 13 kilos and 2.
13 kilos and 2 for the complete system. That is, these are connectors with the valve, as I was saying, and nothing more.
Against 1.5 kilos of those, it was going to tighten.
But I don't even need it. There's no need to even weigh it. The Skyline Sport, 13 kilos and 2. Incredible.
This thing is crazy. Just think about how much the bike improves. Less heat, less weight. It's a whole different story.
Top of that wing, fearing it, we swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing Amy and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat. I'm just letting you all know who's next. I don't want to talk.
And here he is, finally His Majesty. Full titanium spark exhaust is installed. Good Roberto has also finished the tail installation. But now, Robbie, I think we have to go install the air filter.
Exactly. I'm already removing the injector holder towers from the throttle body because the air filter is wedged here at the end of the frame in the steering headstock, basically. And we're going to install a filter this time that probably many of you don't even know exists.
Exactly, because here, as I've accustomed you to, on the air filter channel, we've seen many. And indeed, today we're not going to install just any sprint filter, but a sprint filter, let's say, that is mainly used in the racing world. So a pretty powerful racing one. Roberto opens it because he already knows what we're talking about. It's not a P08, it's not an F185, I feel. It's His Majesty F185 Superbike version. Here it is. Look at how Roberto's eyes are shining. A filter that combines F185 technology with a real carbon frame that eliminates now. We will show it to you together with Roberto. The whole part of the plastic frame, that is what is fixed in the duct of the EO, which inside the Panigale V2 is still quite present.
Let's say it obstructs a part of the filter, right? Whereas with this type of carbon frame, we have little thickness, precisely as support, and therefore more.
It increases the column of air that impacts on the filter. In addition to this, we remove all that talk of the frame of the filter assembly that is simply installed with the help of these two carbon tabs.
Anyway, here we are, Nicolo. It's from the World Championship. We have the De Rosa exhaust, which runs in the World Championship on. There's a racing filter. I mean, what do we have to do?
We just lack the pilot, Giacomo.
Oh, Giacomo. Damn, if you don't spin me in 45 with your hand down the long valley, listen, eh?
So, I'll show you. Meanwhile, while Roberto is messing it up. The original Ducati filter, which, well, a little dirty, a little used. Clearly, the miles are what they are. See, there's the classic filter, the original one with all its gasket, to let the air pass only where it should. That is, from the filter and the entire mounting frame of installation. Here it is. Take a look over there.
See how that carbon frame adheres beautifully to perfection.
My goodness.
We have really improved a lot. As a filtering part, it's really exaggerated. I've never had to install such a filter until now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the big moment has arrived. We've moved to the map bench. The tank has been reassembled. The tank has been filled. So at this point, without a map, simply with the installed components, what performance the motorcycle. Now the graphics is back. Guys, unfeasible. We are really at very high levels of enjoyment, as much as the noise levels. I mean, the walls are literally shaking. My shoe soles are vibrating, my chest is imploding. Guys, it's insane. I've never heard such a chase. It's super cool, totally illegal, but we knew that.
Totally racing.
It's not approved, and rightly so.
Racing.
Totally racing.
Col de Rosa. And in my opinion, he won't find any changes compared to what he already has.
Damn it, guys. Now we're going to open the files together with Roberto.
So let's now show the launch graph that we did at the beginning with the total stock, the original exhaust, original map, everything original. Then we installed the F185 Superbike filter along with the full spark, and we'll compare the curves for you. This is the situation. So the green is total stock and the red is with the exhaust and filter. And I'm really amazed at the fact that in the area where this flex was created, it has come up in an exaggerated way. Think that at 5,500 revolutions, we had an increase.
Damn.
Important of 6 horses to the wheel, from 56 to 62.
62 and 6 at 5,368 engine E revolutions. At 7,000 instead, we went from 82 and 8 to 88 and 2.
Accelerates hard. As for the maximum peak, we therefore started around 133, 134, and we got to 141. Just with filter and exhaust. It's really a big deal because I've already done several Panigale V2 sets. I have to be honest. We are already near the maximum target.
Of the mapping you did with the other barricades.
Exactly, considering that the map is still here.
Has not been made.
We have to work on it. And so, in my opinion, we have a great margin, considering that we have, well, the possibility to unlock something on ride-by-wire. So we will gain even more on the stretch. So, a lot of stuff. Let's also look at the engine torque and see.
My goodness, guys, a radical change.
The dip no longer exists, so we have a perfectly balanced bike, so we can already use it. From 4,000, because we have no loss. It remains constant up to 6,000 RPM, then takes the long haul. And where it performs best, obviously, but in the area of 5,500 and more or less, we have an extra kilo of torque, so a pull without drops.
It has completely changed. Let's say we've made this Desmo engine really like another worker.
Beautiful, really beautiful, very beautiful. I also want to show you the carburation. In this case, we talked about cylinder by cylinder map, so we have double real-time acquisition. Then we have the possibility to check the front cylinder, rear cylinder, where, well, in the first area, pour in fuel. Here too, this peak is not good, and then mainly the rear gets fat. It gets very fat, let's say, typical of the stock map of Ducati. A bit of all are like this, the V4S even worse. So there is work to do, there is to put in order, there are many things to do. We will mainly work on fuel maps, advanced maps, and ETV maps, or electronic gas.
So now we start the map refinement work, and here, Roberto, now make the magic happen. Roberto's PC work is finished. We have finally arrived after some refinement throws. Maybe we cross our fingers. The final map, the results are good, promising, but let's let them speak. The bench, so headphones on and let's go. Gentlemen, I think that Roberto, this time we did the miracle. The national Robertone does not deny himself this time. I think he's panicking. It gave him satisfaction. Hear the laugh and, he's enjoying it.
Do you know why it gave me satisfaction? Because I come from one done practically recently last week. Okay. And the configuration anyway with F185 and complete exhaust to Gravovich, and here.
We did better. Guys, I'm giving you this little spoiler. Now, in the video, you will certainly see the graph that we will comment on together with Roberto. And we will compare it at this point also with the graph, with the complete Acra system, but with the normal F185, not the Superbike one.
So, we are in front of the graphs. Let's start from the initial curve and therefore total stock configuration. Then we put in comparison what we have already shown you with the launch, with the components where there were these improvements. So, as we promised, we compare the last curve with the remapping discussion and the improvement as it had already been, however, planned. We had it more in the stretch, even though we improved something else down here. But are we really talking about something insignificant? But the difference is right in this area, and for example, already at 9,000 RPM from stock, 126, 130 with the components, 136 with the map components, and map, yes, components and map. Obviously, what remains here with the smile at the spark? Thanks to the filter, we found a really excellent sync. In short, we have reached a power of 150 horsepower at the wheel. Incredible, because anyway, with these bikes here, we are always around more or less 144, 145 total stock configuration and filter. Here, as we were saying before, a filter of a certain level. We pulled the map anyway like a violin string. There is a reference discharge, and so I expected a difference that was above other situations, but not so forcefully.
Another thing that I want to point out to him, and I ask you just to put it on video, has the torque or power or RPM limiter been touched?
No, then the RPM limiter remained the same. If we see the curve where it falls, it's because I went to modify the ETV openings, or rather of the electronic throttle in this case. So when we're full throttle, we don't have, let's say, the limitation that tends to close, but it stays open 100%. And so this leads to a stretch up to the actual limiter, so you cut about 200 revolutions after. That's why.
But now I would say let's go and put in comparison also the last map that we made. So the blue one, the blue line with the full system Agra with F185.
Yes, let's give ourselves this satisfaction because, I repeat, a recent job. And already there, in short, I was quite happy. So the red one is this one from Big Giacomo. The green one instead is the previous one you did last week. And with Agra, yes, but we're talking about Agra at a certain level. Now it's there.
Here, guys, I'll comment on it because the difference is quite evident. We have an increase at the bottom from 3 to 5,000 revolutions. In short, an improvement of 3 horsepower at 6,500 to 6,600 revolutions compared to the Krapowicz system, and from 8,000 to full scale is already significant. A significant difference at the level precisely of extension. So we go from a total of 145 and 6 horsepower at the wheel on the full Acra system with F-185 to 150 dry horsepower at the wheel with the Spark system and F-185 SBK, which indeed is different from the second.
Which in my opinion, I mean, right now, even when we talk about reliable from the bank and company, in my opinion, these numbers make sense because in the end, they have a difference of about 4 horses and something, so really minimal, which are the right ones. Which maybe made the difference, the filter, the map a bit more pulled, and so maybe
the bike came out better from the factory.
That's also possible, but I repeat, we're talking about those details that I think have a great response against another bike.
So it's time for us to say goodbye. Giacomo's bike. From the next and final video, you will see it completely changed, also transformed in its graphic appearance. We will abandon the Ducati red to switch to another color. I can only thank the legendary Roberto Nazionale. But of course also all the staff and the house, the Emoto Garage family, who as usual gives me, or rather gives us, joys. Subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button, then activate the bell so you don't miss the next video releases from Turn It Up or other videos in short from the channel. Then leave a nice like below and comment letting me know your thoughts about the video you watched today.
And let's open the bets.
And let me know what color you think this Panicle red will become.